morning, gorgeous. How are you ladies doing this morning? I hope you're all doing wonderful. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm Dr. Daff, and if you're returning, welcome back. Thank you for being here today for another video in a feminine impression, where we talk about how you can be a more feminine woman to become the person that God created you to be. Today, we're talking about something fun. We're talking about hairstyles, feminine hairstyles, and ways that you can spice things up a little bit to make yourself look more feminine with the way that you wear your hair. Now, this is a really fun topic because, whenever you talk about fashion or styling, it gives you this like fresh blank slate to start something new or to sort of, spice up what you're already doing. Now, in the Black community specifically, hair is an extremely important and somewhat sensitive topic. And I'm going to talk about this very broadly, but I do want to pinpoint one thing first, because this is a question that I used to receive so much at the beginning when I first started creating this content, which is natural hair feminine? Is it feminine for you to wear your hair in a natural state? And the answer to that right off the bat is absolutely yes. Femininity is about who you are as a person, how you present, and the way that you bring out those qualities is what gives a person an impression as to whether or not you're feminine. It has nothing to do with the way that your hair is worn, but it has to do with how you present it, how you care for it, whether your hair is in an afro, whether you are bald and you don't even have hair. It's all about the way that you present. So we'll talk a little bit about that later, but I just want to let you know that you do not have to have long, straight hair to be considered feminine or for you to look feminine right off the bat. The other thing that I want to mention is that hair can be something that can also be sensitive if you grew up in an environment where you did not have any direction on how to care for your hair. Maybe you grew up with a mother who did not know how to care for your hair, or you lived in an environment where you were neglected, or you were in foster homes and your hair was just not something that was prioritized. And this can be a really daunting topic, because if you didn't grow up with your hair being taken care of, maintained, and you felt a confidence with your hair, then as an adult, it may take you a little bit longer to figure out what works for you and to learn how to keep your hair in a state that looks neat and presentable and lovely, right? So if that's what you've experienced, then just know that this is the beginning of something new for you, where you can start taking off some of that pain and shame and maybe even bad memories, and invite yourself into a new place where you can look at yourself authentically and figure out what you want to look like, what works best for your features, and what works best for your budget. Okay, because this is really important. I remember, I grew up with a single mother, and she did not like, as she would say, messing with hair. So she's not someone who ever did our hair. If we got our hair done, we would have to go to like a salon, and that was few and far between. And I spent all of my days as a child with my hair in braids. Now, as a child, I had like cousins and other people who did my hair. But when I got to high school and those cousins didn't live with us anymore, we would go to the salon and she put our hair in braids, because braids can last a really long time. And because, of the financial state that we grew up in, that wasn't a priority on top of all the other things that were going on with us. So my braids would literally like grow out so far back that my hair would look like a literal afro, and the braids were like all the way back here. And so I despised braids after I got enough money to do my own hair, because it just brought bad memories of my hair, and I never felt like I could be pretty, because my hair was just never nice. And that was something that I carried with me for a while too, just figuring out how I wanted my hair to actually look and what I had to do to get it to that place. So I may not understand all of the situations that you are in, but I definitely had my own situation with hair, and hair has been something that I have even brought here on YouTube, where I've done tons of reviews on wigs and I've taught ladies how to take care of their natural hair, because for me it was truly a experience of having to navigate a world I knew nothing about. However, I've gotten to a place where I've thoroughly explored hair in all of its different forms and sort of figured out what styles I think make women look really feminine and more appealing if they want to look more ladylike. And that's starting off by saying that every style can give you that feeling. Every style can give you that impression, depending on what you're wearing, your face shape, and your haircut and color. So let's just start off by saying that the number one thing for your hair is that it needs to look neat. It needs to be clean and look neat, meaning that it is important for you to prioritize your hair maintenance. If you do not like dealing with your hair, then scheduling consistent hair appointments, so you're not going 3 months, you're really making it a priority and trying to go as much as you can. Maybe it means you can't go to brunch as often, or you can't get your nails done, but your hair is one of the first things when a person looks at you that they zone into. It's eye level, right? So they're looking at your eyes and your face, but your hair can shift their attention. Even if you have on something really nice, if your hair is a mess, it ruins the entire outfit, the entire look. It can also make you like signal to someone that something is off. So if a person has on like a white t-shirt and blue jeans, but their hair looks like a mess, someone may wonder, like, is this person okay? Maybe this person is homeless or has some sort of issues, because people expect you to take care of your hair. It is a signal that there is some sort of neglect going on with your body. So I would say every day, just making sure that your hair is clean. If you're African American, you know, we don't wash our hair every single day, especially if you have texture for like mine. You cannot, you should not wash it every day, but it doesn't mean that you don't groom it every day. So just making sure your hair is clean and groomed is important. Now, after being clean, the second thing I want to point out is hair length. Hair length actually is important in terms of femininity. I did mention that you could be bald, because you can be bald and be super feminine because of the way that, you know, you choose to carry yourself, how you choose to speak, the things that you choose to wear. They can, you know, bring out your femininity. But in terms of womanhood, in terms of being a woman that is attractive, let's say, to men, you are a woman who probably wants to have hair that is full, that is lush, that is long. Long hair is considered to be very feminine. Why? Because long hair just signals health, good health and vitality. And when men are looking at women on a very primal, you know, subconscious level, it's not something that they're actually normally thinking about. They want a woman who is healthy, because that woman is going to be the bearer of their children. And so they look at your hair without really even noticing that they're looking at your hair. And if you're not healthy, then, you know, that's something completely different. But if you are a woman who is healthy, realize that if your hair is longer and fuller and you are looking to attract a man, that is going to be like pretty much a slam dunk. Even if your hair is in its natural state, if your hair is like, when you see the women who have natural hairstyles and their hair is like big and full, even if it's in an afro or if it's in like a long wavy style, it's very sensual, it's very attractive. So long hair, long straight hair, long curly hair is always going to be a slam dunk. If it's long, you can pretty much guarantee that it's going to look feminine. If your hair is short, then that is also very feminine and sexy, but it depends on how you wear it. It depends on what kind of haircut you have. If your haircut is like in a bob, or if you choose to wear your hair like in like a tight curly style, or in some of like the pinup styles where it's short but there's like a little bit of waves or finger waves going on. Those are very feminine, sexy hairstyles. Some of these hairstyles will require you to straighten your hair or perm your hair in order to get it to look like that. And I know when I was younger, and obviously social media was not what it is now, so the information wasn't readily out there, I thought that you could just like spray something in your hair and get a certain hairstyle. Just know, whenever you're looking at people's hairstyles, keep in mind their hair texture and what they've chemically done to their hair to get it to have that look and that effect. It's not going to always be like you can just copy something you see. It's very important to know that so you don't ruin your hair. In terms of other styles that can make you look really feminine is having your hair like in a bun. It can be a high bun, it can be a low bun, but buns always look really feminine because you look put together. It helps you to look more elegant and classy, and it brings out all of your features and your clothes because your hair is put away. But of course, the bun has to be either intentionally messy or it has to be like clean and sleek. And the sleeker it is, of course, the more elegant you look. I also think that braids and twists can look super feminine depending on how it's done, especially if you have like a Havana twist or Senegalese twist and they're long and shiny and full. They do look very feminine. Braids can look super feminine too. I know they have these like, I think they're called like goddess locks or something that are super pretty. As long, again, as they are clean. Because when you have hair like that, when it's like twisted up or braided up, and you keep it for too long, you're not maintaining it, you're not washing it, you're not doing anything to it, it holds, you know, the sweat, it holds dirt, and it can start to smell. And that will immediately take away the feminine appearance that you have if you walk past someone or if you lay your head on your boyfriend's chest and it stinks. Okay, so you really want to make sure you're really keeping those styles up, even though they are low maintenance styles. They are still styles that need to be maintained. So keep that in mind. And I think something people sometimes wrestle with is that they don't know what hairstyles suit their face, because different hairstyles look better or more fitting, more suited for different face shapes. And that's why it's fun and important to explore different styles and just to be realistic with yourself in terms of what hairstyles you think fit your personal style, the kind of clothes you like to wear, the kind of things you like to do. If the things you like to do require your hair to always be in a ponytail, then maybe you need to find cute styles that you can wear in a ponytail. There are so many beautiful feminine hairstyles that people normally only do when they're getting married. And I'm gonna do a video, I think, about the idea of women tapping into their femininity on literally one day of their lives, their wedding day. And I feel like that's when women really get to see all the things that they could be doing in terms of their hair, their makeup, their eyelashes, their nails, their skin, their body is before their wedding day when they're supposed to look the most beautiful. And when you go on wedding pages, I think that is like the best place to find inspirations for feminine hairstyles, because those wedding pages have the most beautifully done feminine hairstyles that are like updos and braids. Like if you wanted to wear your hair in 2 pigtails or 2 long braids, can look super feminine, but there are also like lots of different like ways that you can make them even look more beautiful and stand out more. And so maybe you would wear your hair in like a little ponytail just because you have to always have your hair up, and you never thought, well, I could actually do like a really pretty updo, or I could do 2 braids, or I could do like a side sweep. I could do other things to make myself look a little bit more feminine and a little bit more cared for. So I would recommend going to the wedding websites and wedding pages to find like bridal looks as inspiration to ways that you can make your hairstyles just add a little bit more flavor. You know, most people, when you're walking down the street, most people don't put very much effort into their hairstyles. I see a lot of people putting maybe effort into their hair color. I think that for you to actually want to put effort into creating styles that are authentic to your face and that are feminine is a really great way to stand out in general. Whether it's standing out for dating, standing out for a job, standing out for, your personal brand is focusing on your hairstyle. And it's fun. It's fun to try new things. So instead of always wearing your hair straight, use curls. And I'm not saying you have to use a curling iron, but you can use flexi rods. You can use like hot curls that curl your hair. You can use rollers, foam rollers. You can do pin curls. There are so many different ways to curl your hair, but curling your hair always gives a more like lush, romantic feel. And again, this does depend on your face. It depends on how you present, your natural essence, your natural aura. Everyone looks different, and that's what makes us so beautiful as women, is that we're all so unique and different. And with that, it's necessary to know that you should pay attention to the way you look. There are some women who are very cutesy. Like they have a very like cute look. They don't necessarily look like a sexy feminine, but they have more of like a little girl, cute, innocent feminine look. Those women tend to look better with short hairstyles, like short, cute cuts, flip curls, different things where their hair is short and they're just utilizing like this whole little area from their shoulder blades up. And if you put super long hair on those ladies, yeah, I mean, it looks nice, but it doesn't look as authentic as a short, cute style because of their face shape and because of the way that they present. They present as super cutesy. So a romantic, like sexy vixen look is just not going to represent them the best. If they want that, sure, it's fine. You do whatever you want. But when you're trying to find what suits you, pay attention to you. If you're more of like a natural bohemian type of woman and you like the outdoors and you like lots of fabrics and colors, yeah, maybe you wouldn't really want like a hairstyle that's like a short A-line bob. That might look too serious for your flowing, free-spirited self. You may want like super long hair with waves in it, or sister locks, or maybe you might want to be bald, or do something different that's a little bit more risque. You have to sort of find what suits you, but the way you make it feminine is the intention that you put behind your hair and curating it to your authentic look and rocking it, right, with confidence. Now, confidence can be a little bit challenging depending on the issues that you have with your hair. And as we get older as women, sometimes issues do come up with our hair. And you don't even have to be old. I mean, sometimes it's just genetics. Maybe your hair is thinning or falling out. Or let's say for me personally, I had a baby. And when I had my postpartum experience, I ended up losing a lot more hair than I thought I was going to lose. And I already had issues with hair on my edges. So even if I wanted to do like a super low cut, if I don't have edges, that hairstyle is not going to work out for me. I need to find something else. And wearing wigs is also not going to be the best thing because it's going to be pulling on the edges that I don't even have, right? So confidence can be affected, like, oh man, I can't look the way I want to look. I can't even get braids because I don't have any hair right here for the braids to hold on to.
Speaking of my pregnancy and my hair, I have experienced hair loss, hair shedding, and significant issues in postpartum hair loss, but I have found a solution to it. I want to introduce you to our sponsor, iRestore. iRestore is used to restore hair growth by using both laser and LED lights to combat hair loss. Low-level light therapy is just like watering plants. Hair is either in the process of growing, resting, or falling out. The light energy acts like water and nutrients that are absorbed by your hair follicles to keep your hair in the growing phase. And it's great because it can be used in conjunction with other products that you're using for hair growth. The iRestore combines 282 lasers and LEDs to provide the correct light output and power level to stimulate the hair follicles. The product is FDA cleared, clinically proven technology, and non-invasive. You can use it for about 25 minutes every other day, and results are generally seen within 3 to 6 months. It's really nice because it covers not just your hair on the top, but all around the sides for my edges. Like anything else in your life that you want to change, it's important to be proactive and find solutions. Check out the link below to learn more about the laser devices. And for a limited time, you can save $400 off with my code DRMICHELLE. Visit Iris Store now and take advantage of this incredible offer.
So thank you so much, Iris Store, for being a sponsor for this video today. We truly appreciate you bringing this video to all of these beautiful feminine women. So definitely keep that in mind when it comes to your hairstyles. You know, your confidence is going to be affected by your hair. And if you're someone, speaking of like wearing wigs and things of that nature, who chooses to wear wigs, like lace front wigs, just know that sometimes, and this is from experience, when you have hairstyles like that and they're not worn appropriately, it can definitely take away from your femininity. It can take away from your elegance. It can take away from just your cleanliness in terms of how you present. A lot of lace front wigs have like glue, right? And sometimes for some women, you can look at their hair and see all of the glue all around their edges. And I don't know if this is something that people just sometimes don't care about, or they don't notice it, or no one tells them, but it looks really awful and everyone can see it. I remember like, I've worn wigs for years, and it took me a while to even figure out, because when I started wearing wigs, lace front wigs were not even like open for the public. It was just for celebrities and like fashion shows and things like that. So once it came into like the public world and it started becoming more readily available in the stores, when I would wear them, I remember I would get comments like, aren't you supposed to be wearing the wig so people don't know it's a wig? Like, I don't get it. Why is it that I can tell it's a wig? It's supposed to be like discreet. And that's because maybe you don't know how to put it on, or maybe because the glue is showing. But all of those things can take away from your look. And sometimes it's just a matter of maybe saying, I'm going to have to spend a little bit more to get a better quality wig, and I'm going to have to save and wear my hair in a ponytail for 2-3 months until I can save up for a wig where it's better quality and the hairline is clear so you cannot tell it's a wig, because it's very distracting. On top of it just looking messy and that kind of thing, unfortunately, my dear, when you're talking to someone, I know it's annoying when people are talking to you and they're just looking at your hairline. You know, it's like, what are you looking at? What is it? What's the problem here? And it can happen, and it's very distracting. It's taking away from you. Sometimes when hairstyles are not working out for you, it's an invitation for you to explore something that's going to make you look more authentic and more feminine. And I always love to see women who are willing to try different hairstyles and who are willing to care about their hair enough to be open to looking at maybe people who look like you, who have the same face shape as you, or just experimenting with different styles to say that you've tried it, you know, and maybe a certain time in your life it worked out for you, and then as you changed, your hair changed. I say with every single thing, if you're struggling with it, give it to God, because God made you perfect. When He designed you perfectly. And for me, this was something that I had to really come to terms with at some point when I was beginning to be a little bit too comfortable only wearing wigs. Again, I was not taught how to take care of my natural hair. I was not taught how to take care of hair in general, natural or not. I had to learn every single thing from scratch, and God had to kind of let me know, like, I made your hair the way I made it for a reason. There's a reason behind every single thing about you. Nothing about you was a mistake. Everything about you was done by design. So if I know that everything about me was done by design, then I really wanted to tap into that and make sure that I'm not ever like completely staying away from what's natural for me. And so I actually asked God, I was like, okay, well, I'm actually really bored with my hair. I feel like I've done everything I want to do. What do you think I should do with my hair now? And you may think God doesn't care about stuff like that, but God loves you so much, and he cares about every single thing pertaining to you. He designed you. You're his daughter, you're his baby, you're his child. And if you ask him a question, he's going to help you. So I asked, and God was like, you know what? I think you should probably try some really like cool feminine hairstyles from like the 1940s. Like, try it with your natural hair. Just experiment, have fun, do something that's different from what everyone else is doing. The long straight hair or the bleached blonde hair, whatever. All that stuff is cool. I have no problem with it. But he's like, try something else. So I'm like, well, I really don't like my hair looking crazy because it really messes up my day. I need something simple and fun. And he helped me. And I started really, as you can tell from my last, few videos, you've seen me doing a lot more like creative hairstyles, a lot of hairstyles that are a little bit more like historically, they're a little older hairstyles, and just honestly things that I just made up, hairstyles that just kind of came together. And all of that was with the help of God, because when you come to him, he answers you. And when you seek him, when you knock, when you ask, the door is open to you. And that's in the word of God. He's not going to tell you something you don't want to know. But if you want to know things about you because he made you, then ask him. What hairstyle do you think would look best on me? What color of hairstyle do you think I should try next? What do you think works best with the way you wanted me to look when you created me? And he will tell you. So just wanted to add that in there. So yeah, these are just some ideas. I don't want the video to be too lengthy, of some things that you can do with your hair to make yourself look more feminine. And if you want a little extra razzle dazzle, you can always add things to your hairstyles to make you look even more feminine. So something I have been doing lately is adding a lot of ribbons. I always have like my stages. So you can do things like add like hair clips to your hair, barrettes. When I have braids, I always add these like little gold clips into the braids or into twists. I always do it. Even if I have like a more masculine hairstyle, like cornrows, straight back, like maybe a man could wear, I always make it feminine. I always add some kind of hair jewelry to make my hairstyles pop. For a lot of women who are into like the, what is it called? Like princess core, royal core. I've seen a lot of women do like the beautiful tiaras and crowns, and they are so pretty. I think last year I did a lot of like headbands. I know some of you messaged me, you're like, I love your headbands, and I started wearing them because of you. And they're so fun. I love headbands. I'm more into like the hair ribbons now, and let me just show you how it can just add a little pop, a little extra something to your hairstyle and to your outfit when you add a hair accessory. So this is my little pink bow. I have these in almost every single color, and I wear them pretty much every single day. And it's fun, it's cute, it adds a little flair. But yeah, there's so many fun things that you can do with your hair. This is just something that I've been doing recently with the ribbons and the bows. It depends on your feminine flair. If you're a little bit more like youthful and joyful, if you're more sultry and serious, you may not be wearing ribbons, right? You may be doing something a little bit different, but there's always something that you can add to add a little bit of sparkle, a little bit of razzle into your hair and make yourself just look more feminine, more ladylike, more pretty, more cared for, and more curated. So I want to know in the comments below, like, what do you do to your hair to make yourself look and feel more feminine? Do you wear hair perfume? Do you put on like, shiny things in your hair to make your hair glisten when you turn? What do you do? Or what hairstyles do you really love that bring out the femininity in you? I would love to know, so leave a comment below. Thank you so much for watching, my love. I hope that this video just inspired you to try something different, try something new, and remember that any hairstyle can be feminine depending on how you wear it, how you carry yourself, and the presence that you bring with you when you walk into a room. Make sure to listen to my podcast, The Dr. Daff Show, for more femininity content. And follow me on my Instagram page at Dr. Michelle Daff and at The Dr. Daff Show. I love you all so much, and I pray that this video helps to inspire you to become the beautiful feminine woman that God created you to be. Until next time, bye-bye.